I
So
think that speaks to where he is. Like honestly, mentally, this album just it sort of speaks to a sort of fragmented kind of
yeah,
personality. Like it's just not the Eminem that I remember, and that's the thing.
yeah,
You know, for me, KD, like I don't think when he drops his next album, I'm probably not going to hear about it for a long time. Like, oh, Eminem drops an album, cool. I'm not going to listen to it
oh, it's like off the
because
train like that.
yeah, when I say that I'm off the train, I'm fatigued.
Sure.
I've been there. I've been there.
He needs to evolve a bit more, you know.
He either needs to evolve or sod off because there are other voices that need to be heard. Like you don't need to dominate anymore. Like you're in history now. That's it. People should study you. Like okay, so go right off into the sunset. You know, I'm not saying that older people can't rap.
Of course.
De La Soul, Jay-Z, flipping Rakim.
Yeah.
Black Thought's been doing it like 20, 25 years. Busta Rhymes, come on. You know, I'm not saying that older guys can't do it. Of course they can. But Eminem, just give it a rest.
See, this is the thing. I go back and forth on this because I'm like,
he's got to go.
If he does his thing, right? I think. For me, it's like when people say, "Oh, Eminem should just," or any artist, "Oh, they should just retire now," or "They should just stop now." I'm just like, just don't listen to their music, bro. just ignore it. It doesn't have, it has no bearing on you, right? But I think for someone like Eminem, you made a good point where you said he doesn't have to dominate anymore. I think the problem is that unfortunately when he drops, he does crazy numbers off the bat because he's got this crazy fan base. He's got a crazy name for people outside of hip hop as well, who, you know, absolutely. I don't like hip hop. I love Eminem though. You that guy though. You know, you have loads of people like that.
Yeah, true.
So I guess maybe his name comes up and you're kind of forced to have to kind of see him all the time. So I guess maybe that's what sparks the conversation where people are like, man, maybe you should just step away. But for me, I understand from an artist perspective how he might feel like he
never wants to, maybe.
Yeah, I think he clearly loves this shit to death. And he said in a recent interview that he's less about kind of going on tour and doing that stuff. He just really enjoys what he does. He just wants to give his all. Like that's why he even dropped the side B with like 14 or something new songs, right? And I can't tell which one I like better out of the two, this one or that one, because on that one he just does sound like he's having fun. Like on the second one, the side B one, it's like I don't take it too seriously, like the things that he's saying and stuff like that. We know he can rap, you know he can do all this stuff. It's cool. It's like, but maybe just a little bit more, a little bit of evolution. If you're gonna stay in here, less of the dad jokes, less of the kind of corny lines. Like,
yeah, but you can't say that because it's the amount of. Just think how many words he has written in this album.
Yeah,
it's thousands. Well. It's thousands. Like he's not going to be, you know, he's not going to be able to sort of stop the puns or the shit jokes or whatever like that. Like, you know what I mean? He's a content machine.
Yeah, he's Eminem, so he plays around, he has fun, and he says stupid things. I think people have accidentally fallen into this trap where they think he's a serious guy now, because back in the day it was like this good blend of like serious stuff, but then he would switch into character and do all this like really zany crazy shit. And
yeah, like where is Slim Shady? Like, because we all miss that guy. Where's Slim Shady at? Because the last time that I really sort of paid attention to Slim Shady was Marshall Mathers LP2. Like you could hear Slim Shady was in there.
At the end of that album, though, on Evil Twin, when he says, we are the same.
Yeah, I know.
He kind of said that, yeah, and I was like, oh shit, like is that really what you're gonna end on, like that? Like, yeah. I thought a great part of that was you having the alter ego where you can just kind of hold up a mirror to everyone and be like, look, there's a Slim Shady in all of us, because he would say that, right?
I'm the bad guy who makes fun of people that die.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy who makes fun of people that die or have plane crashes, as long as it ain't happened to him. That used to make me laugh so much. Like, you're like that dickhead who's like, I'll make fun of all of you fuckers until you start doing that shit to me. And weirdly, it's almost become kind of true in a sense, because now he's a bit sensitive to the criticism and stuff, and he fires back at it a lot.
Yeah, which is because where he started from, he wore it. He was just like, I don't care, people love me anyway.
Yeah, his I don't give a fuck persona is not. I'm pretty sure personality in behind the music, he did care, because I mean,
yeah, maybe
I think he was that kind of person. I don't think he personified behind closed doors that I don't give a fuck attitude as much as he might have tried to make people think. I think that was all a persona. I mean, the Infinite CD, he got told that the songs were too soft. He sounds like AZ and Nas, and I mean that's what caused him to kind of lash out. He's always been very reactionary. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
fair
artist,
enough.
Right? But the problem is now is that I don't give a fuck persona is leaving the music. It's like he's trying to stay under that lens, but it's like, I don't know. You're sounding a little bit defensive at times now. Like,
yeah, he does.
Just let it go. Let the revival hate go. Let it, whatever, man. If you still stand behind that album, cool. That's your art. That's your piece. That's your work. But just keep moving forward. Just don't try and pander to everyone. He could have called this album like album number 10, whatever number it's on, made it very generic, and that would have justified potentially why there's such a wide range of shit on here. Because then he could have been like, here's my 10th album. I'm a legacy artist now. You pick and choose what you want, right? Pick and choose what type of vibe you want from me. You know, for my recovery fans, here's some shit. For my old school fans, here's this shit. But if you're going to call it music to be murdered by and pay homage to that,
I'm expecting I'm expecting a slaughter from start to finish. I'm expecting hard rhymes.
Bruv.
And it just wasn't that, dude. It just wasn't that. And
that's my issue with it. Because I enjoyed this album, but that's my main.
See, I enjoyed the album. No, I liked the album. It had very, very good high points. The highest point on there, you know, told you. But it just leaves me cold. It's just left me cold, and I don't really care for it. And it is just one of those things, you know, I'm, you know, not going to dictate, you know, who should do what or whatever. Like, maybe you should stop. But I do think there is something in the fact that he needs to just stop clouding the water with, you know, his juggernaut of a PR machine. Like, I really do think it's now time to sort of step away for a bit and then come back in a couple of years, man. Like, by all means, it'd be great.
Yeah.
We don't need another album like so soon. Drop an album in 2024 just randomly. Yeah. Do something like that, you know. But
if you're gonna drop something soon, do like something like what Ghostface does. You know, Ghostface has been able to create a consistent discography by not pandering, by not switching up too much. And he does, you know, he did like the Bad Bad Not Good collabo. He did the 12 Reasons to Die thing with what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? Oh no. Oh, what? David, you know what I'm talking about, right? The 12
know exactly what you're talking about. I can see the blooming album cover.
Yeah, same. But what's the guy's name?
Hold on. I'll just...
Fuck. Adrian Young. That's it. I knew it started with an A. Adrian Young. That's it. Yeah, it's like he did things like that. He kind of just, you know, he did these little projects where he wasn't taking them overly seriously. It was just kind of, okay, I'm just going to explore my creativity. Yeah. And he just makes good, consistent shit. You know, it's like, oh, I want that from you, Em. You know, I want that.
We want him to be the best that he can be, and we all know that he's an absolute machine. Like, we know that. But this is the point. But this is the point when it's not exceptional. He's set the bar so high he can't reach it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's the point. This is why I think he needs to go away and hone, and then come back and just be like, right, okay, cool. Like, I've seen all your crap. Like,
do you know what I want to do? Do you know what I want him to do next? Because I mean, he's dropped the music to be murdered by Side B, which is cool, right? It's just you know, it seems like he was having fun with that, you know, and that was cool. I mean, look, I'm a big Eminem fan. I'm for some reason still very invested in him. So I give it, you know how when you're like a huge fan of someone, even if they drop something that you're like, you know that if you weren't a big fan, you might be a bit like you might be a bit cold on it. You know, I'm a bit like, I still give it the time of day because I have this investment, because he's such a huge influence on me, and he's such a, you know, I really look up to him, you know, so I have this almost like this personal attachment, you know, so it's like I'll give it a try still, you know, and I pick out what certain things from it, like when I'm talking about the song Marsh and Unaccommodated is like an MC. I'm sure people probably guessed that by now listening to the show, that you know, when I do my thing, that's a great blueprint.
Yeah, definitely.
To practice on. You go and learn Eminem's verse on that.
Wicked.
Like, for me, when I like rap alongside that stuff, it keeps me. It's like part of my sparring, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Alongside a bunch of other artists, but you know, someone like Eminem, it's like I wonder if I wasn't MCing or wasn't making music and stuff, I wonder if I would feel like you, where I would just treat it like him just as an artist who's been putting out music, and I might just be like, yeah, it's okay. You know, I probably give it more of the time of day because of that attachment, and also I'm listening to it. Yeah, you know how people say MF Doom is like the rapper's rapper, you know? So people who your favorite rapper is, you know, idolizing Doom, you know, there's like this level away. I feel like sometimes Eminem can be like that, where it's like for people who are really into like studying the way that the rhyme patterns are, and
yeah,
you know, where you rap on beats and stuff like that. So for someone like me, it's like, you know, I really get with that, but I understand, I can it's weird because then I'll still sit here, and I wasn't expecting to rant about him, but I did, you know, because there's still more. I'm still aware enough to know that, look, musically, I think you can just do so much better than this, right? And
so much better,
so much skill, like, and everything, that you can really utilize it for something else. Do you know what I want him to do? I want him to do a Bad Meets Evil 2, right? Lock him with Royce, and fucking
just go and have it. Yeah, just go and have it.
That's your. I think that's his arena right now. If you just want to rap, then do that shit. Collab. Do with a Ghostface approach. Find someone to collab with. Find a producer and do a one producer album with another MC who keeps you on your toes. Because some of the best songs on here were when he was with Royce or with another set of MCs. Because he was on his toes, you know?
Dude, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that's what he needs to do. I think link up with Clear Soul Forces, bruv. Get them on your shit. Get one of them. Get Novelist. Can you imagine? You're both from Detroit. Make that connection happen. You know?
Do you know what? They'd be any of the four would do justice.
Yeah, man.
They might not hit as hard as Eminem, like in the way that their voices are. I guess they maybe Ilahid.
Jarring.
Ilahid maybe is the closest to Eminem in terms of vocal register, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we'll see. That's fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could tell him this stuff. I wish I could just, I wish I could be in the room and be like, yo, you know, just kind of plant the seed, like,
just be like, yo, Em,
I was just thinking, you know, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should get this guy. Maybe you should
collab with. Oh, could you imagine? I was about to say Apollo Brown.
Mate, Apollo Brown would be fucking sick. But do you know? I mentioned Primo, yeah.
Yeah.
On side B, the second album that he dropped, there's a song on there called Book of Rhymes. I saw the track list. I saw this song called Book of Rhymes featuring DJ Premier. And I'm like, fuck, man. I can't wait to listen to this.
Yeah.
Thinking it's going to be a DJ Premier beat. Tell me why, when that song came on, I liked the song though. Let's not get it twisted. After I got over this initial kind of disappointment. As soon as the song comes in, I'm hearing these like trap hi-hats and snares, like stuff like that, right? The beat, it's a full-on trap beat, which is cool. Don't always hear Eminem on that kind of thing. He kills it. Cool, great. I was just like waiting. Maybe there's gonna be a beat switch. Maybe Premier's on the beat switch. Nope. All it is at the end, he says, Primo, take us out. And Primo does the scratches. That's it. I couldn't believe that he fucking, what's the word? Like catfished us.
Wasted.
Like, oh man. I was like, come on, man. It's like you're fucking with us at this point. Like,
yeah,
it's fully said featuring DJ Premier.
He hates his fans. I'm telling you.
This lines up with what you were saying. Yeah. Okay,
he hates his fans. He's not happy. Like, Real talk. The more I think about it, the more I sit here, and the more I'm just like, actually, yeah, he doesn't care if he puts out garbage. He's going to make millions.
He says that on the new album when he says, you know, I still get the bag even when I'm putting garbage out. It's almost like he's self-aware, like he knows.
Yeah, he knows it's shit. And I'm like, so
if you know, then what the fuck are you doing? Is this just a long, drawn-out career suicide so that you can like stop being famous? Like, is this what this whole thing is?
To be honest, I subscribe to this. If you ain't gonna try, I ain't gonna try either. So sod it. Yeah, like genuinely. No, I've been on the ride for 21 years now. You know what I mean? He was so, when I was growing up, like honestly, like 15, 16, 17, 18, Eminem was the guy.
Sure.
Okay, so I know, I've been there. I've been the fan. Yeah. I've been the guy that's learned every single song and knew every single lyric on albums worth. I've been there, but it's just not, it's just fatigue. And
yeah, man.
I really, I can always, I think I've got an ability of knowing when to give props to people and stuff. The thing is, Eminem's ability isn't the problem. It's the execution over the songs. It's the it's the point of focus.
Because he used to craft like really solid albums. It wasn't just he would just rap over beats. He would make really good albums.
Correct.
I mean, even on this one, the songs like tie in sonically, like they'll blend into each other. There's no like random gaps and stuff. So that's still there, but that just feels like it's what's the word? Like it's that's just standard for him. And it's like it's not going to cover up a poorly kind of, sequenced or poorly kind of put together concept. You can make all the songs blend into each other as nicely as you want, but that's not going to fool us into thinking, wow, this album's really kind of well put together, really conceptual. You're right. He's not got the whole package.
No, he don't.
Yeah. No, like, oh man, like we don't need long albums from you, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but like, we don't need long albums. Just, I don't know who he needs. Like, if he needs someone for quality control, just be like 12 songs. That's it.
That boy needs Jesus.
Jesus needs to do your quality control and be like,
yo, Em, just be a bit happy, because guess what? There's this thing called love and happiness, and you could get it if you really want it. Like, you shouldn't be 47 and this cut up still. Like,
I feel bad for him. I always wonder. I do. I always wonder, like, if he's just really isolated. But then again, he says that he's not like that. But then sometimes he is, and I'm just like, you haven't had the smoothest kind of life.
No, definitely not.
Even before fame, and then during fame, you didn't have the smoothest.
Dude, yeah.
Imagine if he died from his drug overdose. I think they said he was like 2 hours away. If they didn't get to him on time, he would have died. He would have gone up. He would have gone up as one of the greatest of all time, alongside Tupac and Biggie, right? I mean, he's definitely still considered there. But the conversation is so weird now. I've seen the conversation shift now, where there's so many people. Like, Royce is having to be out here defending him. Like, the culture is turning its back on Eminem a lot of the time.
I think so, yeah.
And it's sad to see, because this feels like the place where he took his solace in, and now the culture is turning on him. The culture always had his back, even when people were trying to cancel him before for his like homophobic lyrics and all that sort of stuff. But now it feels like the culture has turned its back on him as well.
It's because
he doesn't know what to do. Because
he's burned too many people too many times with just shit songs and albums, dude. Like, this is what's happened. Like, no. There comes a time you just got to let go at some point. And unfortunately, like Eminem, like for me anyway, I'm sure lots of people will disagree, but
he says that until I collapse, right? He says that on the Eminem show. He says, what's the actual lyric? I can't remember, when he's like, something about knowing when to stop, right? Knowing when when you know your run is
race is run,
knowing when your run is over. Yeah, when you know your run is over when it comes to its end, because I'm at the end of my wits with half the shit that gets in. It's like, knowing when your run is over, right? When it's at its end, just accept it. Obviously, you were like, what? Your perspective might have changed now. You're 28 back then. You're 47 now. Maybe you're thinking, nah, you know what? I want to keep
doing this for ages and dating Nicki Minaj or whatever that hell. Whatever I mean,
I was. I would envy him if that's what he was doing, but it's what it is, man. You know, I don't think that is what he's doing.
Well, wasn't there this whole thing that they were together? Oh, do you know what, dude? I don't pay attention.
No, she claimed that they would. I think she said it as a joke, and then they capitalized off that and did a song together. And then that was like a couple of years ago, I think.
All right, fair enough. That's how much
I forgot that happened.
Oh, that's how much I care. So
yeah, I forgot that happened even because he's usually so like reclusive.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to be, right?
You have to be, yeah. Like, yeah, and that's probably why he's so like late to things. Like when he brings up certain things in his lyrics, and you're like, what? That was relevant a couple of years ago. Why have you brought this up now?
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame that these conversations about someone like Eminem kind of end with this kind of feeling, because I hear it more often now, you know. And I was kind of expecting it with this. I kind of threw this album into the ring, one because you hadn't heard it, but also because I was like, I'm interested to kind of hear, because we've been praising Eminem every time we mention him, to then throw this into the ring and be like, well, what do we actually think of his current music? How does it actually hold up?
Does it hold up? And it doesn't.
Yeah, you know, maybe if this was his first album and he was new on the scene, it'd be different.
Listen,
wow, this guy rap.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's because he's old. And when I say old, as in like he's old news, sort of, you know.
Right.
As I said, it's the transition from, you know, star to superstar to stratosphere, right? So that's what's done him in time, and it's just time for new rappers, man. It's time for new people. I
guess, yeah. If I was M, I would just say get in a lane and just do it well and stick to it.
Yeah, so man. Like, give us EPs. Give us 4 or 5 songs EPs. Just give us that, because then you can do what you want.
Tapes.
Yeah, man.
Give us like one producer, one artist albums, and just kind of every now and then hit us with that. Don't worry too much about filling stadiums and making anthems for people. We've got all those. We've already got them. We don't need another one. We don't need any more of these. Just rap. That's what you do best. Just head into that arena. You've got all the connections. You're Eminem. You've got access to all the best producers, all the best MCs, all the young MCs who come up and idolize you and want to work with you and get on a track with you. Jump in, lock in with them. I don't need to hear another song with Rihanna. I don't want to hear another song with Skylar Grey. I don't need to hear, or if you are going to do that stuff, make it different. You know, make it an event. Don't want to hear the same shit over and over again. Yeah. Don't keep hitting us with the fast flows. We know you can do it. If you're going to hit us with the fast flows, do it like R.A. the Rugged Man does and actually say some shit in the lyrics when you do it, right? I know you can rhyme words.
R.A. the Rugged Man. What a rapper. He's unbelievable. Man. He's unbelievable.
He's fucking sick, man.
His voice is amazing.
Presence. It's like the personification of presence, right?
Listen, it's like an oak tree with honey like dripped all over it. It is.
How do you keep doing this, man? Like you did this for Rakim as well, and I was like, rah, that's exactly what it is. It's oak tree for R.A. the Rugged, but it's soaked in something because it's a bit gritty, you know.
It's got like New
York edge.
Listen, his voice is, his cadence, his flow, like he is elite. I couldn't believe when I heard that album. Was it year before last now, or was it last year? Year before last.
All My Legends Are Dead. Last year.
Like it was summertime, and I was painting the outside of the house, and like I just had that on, and I thought my poor neighbours.
So good, man.
I was blazing it. What an amazing album. We should cover that.
A parallel. We should definitely. I mean, I know we both heard it, but we should kind of.
We definitely. Yeah, it's top drawer. I mean,
you can create a parallel between. I mean, they both dropped last year.
Yeah.
Both dropped long albums. They're both white. They're both old school. And so, you know, and the reason I mentioned that they're white is because that automatically is an assumption that you have to like fight your way into the culture a little bit still. You still have to kind of prove yourself, because not just because, oh, you're white, you can't rap, but also because of the whole cultural appropriation thing, because keep having that with white artists who dip in and then dip out once they get what they want from hip hop, and then they bounce, right? Yeah. Someone like Post Malone, for example, you know. So, you know, whereas Mac Miller, he was part of the culture, right? You know, he clearly cared love the art form. RA does, so does Eminem, right? These guys are not culture vultures. You can make a comparison between them because they're lyrical guys, they're old school guys who are in their 40s and making music still. Both released long ass albums last year as well. Like, you know, I'm sure Eminem listens to RA. RA must keep him on his toes, surely. Like,
he's so good.
RA's so fucking good, man.
So good. But
yeah,
do you know what, man?
Yeah, it's a lot to chew on.
We could go on and on, but
we should make that a separate thing, a topic, like legacy, like you know.
I think so. What makes a great rap legacy?
What should older rappers do? You know, what should
make way for the new
legacy? Yeah, you can. You know, things like that. We should discuss that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, basically, just say to young people, don't do what Eminem's done. Don't overstay your welcome. Simple as that. Or make no.
We'll save this for another conversation.
Okay, but I will finish with this. De La Soul made music for the culture, right? When I say that, I mean that they make music to uplift people. And they have themes that run through some of their songs where they're about the community, not just about them as rappers, but they're about bringing other people through and, witnessing that they're getting older, realizing their own mortality and their own failings and stuff, guiding the next generation through. Eminem could take on more of a mentor kind of role. You know what I mean? Like Professor X from X-Men, and just be like, look, all of you lot, you got your own like little rap superpowers and that. I'm going to make a school of rap. Come and you'll find a home here. Let's go and do some albums together. He could do something like that. I think
that would be sick.
Yeah,
that would be sick if he did that. If he like did a showcase, like if he dropped a project where it's like Eminem kind of presents and he kind of showcases a bunch of new guys, and he kind of doesn't rap on every song, but he does on the one. He just locks in with these guys, and shit.
Yeah, I mean, they could do an ensemble like 8-minute long cypher song or whatever, and then like all of them could be on it at the end. Yeah, he could come in and just, if he needs to destroy people on this one tree, absolutely do it. It's your flipping album. It's your right. You can do that. But,
and you can. You've shown that you can come in with some heavy material still.
Absolute bangers, right? There's no doubting the rapping ability, but I think that it's the kind of singular focus. Eminem is just thinking about Eminem, and I think
that's the problem. Yeah,
but he needs to uplift. Like, I think the reason why I engage more with Royce is because Royce will talk about bigger issues, right? Yeah, he'll talk about bigger things, the community, not just. It's not just a black and white thing or a color thing. It's very much the community. I think he's talking about the hip hop community, and I think that maybe that's a way in which like Eminem could kind of re-engage with people, is actually take a step back and worry about other people maybe. But
he has tried that though. He has tried that, and people have bashed him, trashed him for it. So is it just that he needs to execute it better? Because I mean, he says it himself that when he zigs, he should have zagged, because he'll try something new. People will trash him for it. He just goes back to his old thing. People trash him for not evolving. So it's like,
exactly. Well, the thing is,
really do?
I know artists, like we're quite thin-skinned, right? So I myself,
as much as we try not to act like we are, but we are.
But the thing is, you can create a barrier between you and the world. You just don't pay attention to it. Simple as that. Just live your life. Yeah. It actually is that simple. Because he's so mega rich, he can let other people take the flak on social media. You don't need to touch it, don't need to see it. Just worry about you and your family.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does use it.
Exactly. So
that writes out his tweets for him. They're too kind of perfect. Do you know what I mean? And they're too on time. They come up on time at the right time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's clearly got a team behind it. He's not the one posting that shit. But he clearly reads and watches what people say about him.
Yeah, and maybe he just needs to stop. Don't be such an idiot. Just do what you need to do. Because there are artists that do that. And the album that I'm going to give to you, it came up in a conversation today.
Yeah, we're supposed to do our exchanges. Actually,
yeah. Well, because